Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi, welcome to Passionate People. I'm Keith Abraham. In this episode, I want to spend some time and talk about your emotional, mental, and physical goal connection. Not everybody takes time to join the dots between each of these three. You can have an emotional connection, a mental connection, and a physical connection, but the true goal alignment happens when you line up each of those components. You see, here's what I do believe, is that we have to use all of our mind, subconscious and our consciousness to achieve our goals. It's not what is possible or how much potential you have or what you are capable of producing that stops you from achieving. It's your mindset. Do you believe you're worthy, you're capable, it's possible for you to achieve? So we'll spend some time and once again go from this macro to micro, taking this long-term vision that we've spoken about in a previous episode and now start to bring it right down into that micro activity that you need to focus on. Those specific goals that you need to work on to be able to bring it into a reality. What I also do know is to create certainty, you need to have clarity. To gain clarity, you have to have confidence. With confidence comes the ability to let go, certain that the goal will come true for you, leaving you to take the required action today. Isn't it a great feeling when you know the goal is going to come true if you just work on what you can control today? One of the things I've learned from Toyota is this saying, control the controllables. What is it specifically that you can control today? You can control how much activity you take to bring that goal into a reality. You know, we really appreciate you taking time to watch these videos. We appreciate you taking time on the Business Blueprint TV and looking at all these episodes, because this is about filling up your cup. This is about developing yourself. The more you develop yourself, the better you become, a better version that you become of yourself, so you can achieve what's important, what matters, and what makes a difference. Once again, you have to lead yourself first before you can lead your business and lead your people, and even for that part, lead your customers and your market. It has to start with you. You have to have a higher degree of clarity. I love this quote. People may forget what you said, people may forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. We're going to capitalize on the feelings, the emotions. 10 years ago, when I was teaching people on how to set goals, I'd say to people, write down your goal in specific terms. Put a date alongside of it, and now go and take action. 10 years later, I'm a lot wiser. We've done a lot more research into what works and what doesn't. And to be perfectly honest, that is a mental goal setting process. We're going to combine the emotion, how you want to feel, with the mental, with the physical, what you have to do specifically today to move yourself closer to your goals. So what are we going to cover during this episode? We're going to spend some time and talk about how to identify your key driving values and what to do with them. Each of us has a driving emotion. In actual fact, we have three. We're going to talk a little bit about how to align your personal goals to those key driving values, those key driving emotions. We're then going to move and talk about why the traditional S.M.A.R.T goal system doesn't work anymore, and what you need to do differently to be able to connect with your goals. The fourth is that we're going to talk about taking control of the 135 different emotions that drive all humans and how to work out how we control those emotions so we can capitalize on the opportunities. We're also going to talk about what the feel, think, do, true goal alignment method is all about. And that's something that we've created about that. How do you want to feel? What do you think you need to achieve, and what are you going to do to actually achieve it? And number 6 is going to talk about how to turn your mental goals into emotional goals and why that really matters today more than anything else. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about SMART goals. I think everybody's heard about SMART goals: specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and tangible. Every goal-setting book that you've ever picked up or reviewed has this process of SMART goals. And guess what? It works. But they don't work for individuals. They work for companies. Every organisation, every business needs to have a SMART goal: specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, tangible. But you know what? You need to have smarter goals. What do I mean by smarter goals? Certainly, they need to have the ER on the end of them. What does that mean? Well, you have to have a specific goal. Vague goals equal vague results. Second, they have to be measurable. Specifically, if you shared your goal with me in a written format, without explaining it to me, would I know exactly what you want to achieve? So it has to be some sort of measurement around it. They have to be obtainable. They have to be realistic. But more importantly, they've got to be tangible. And of course, ultimately, you need to have an emotional connection to them. How do you want to feel? When you achieve that goal, how do you want to feel? And the R stands for reward. Here's what tends to happen with most people. They set a goal. They work their brains out to get the goal, they get it, but they don't celebrate. They set the next goal, they work their brains out to get that goal, and they get it, but they don't celebrate. They set the next goal, they work their brains out to get that goal, and they don't celebrate. And sooner or later, your subconscious goes, what are we doing it for? What am I putting all this energy and effort in if there's no reward back? Your consciousness needs to be rewarded along the way. You need to have some milestones and little things that you can tick off, or little rewards that you can give yourself along the way, so you feel like you're making progress. Now, what's the opposite of that? You achieved something 3 years ago and you're still celebrating. Time to get off it and get on with it. Stop being yesterday's hero. You need to start to say specifically, what do I need to do to move myself forward to achieve those goals and reward myself along the way? So let's turn these smarter goals and show you how you can use it to your advantage. As an adult, we have 135 different emotions that we can experience. It differentiates us from the animal kingdom. We can experience love, we can experience joy, we can experience passion, we can experience being amused, positive, accomplished. We can experience all of those different emotions. Just under half are negative and just over half are positive. Now, you might be sitting there going, geez, Keith, I don't know if I can experience all of those different emotions. For some guys, and I'm obviously one of them, some people will probably, say that we don't experience hardly any emotions, barely 5 in a lifetime. But in essence, they're all the different emotions. So through the research that we've done, and the work that I've done with high performance corporate athletes as well as sporting athletes, one of the things that has been really interesting is that when people are very focused on a goal, they are also emotionally connected to that goal. So they're using these emotions. So one of the things I started to think about is, what are these emotions? What are the different emotions that you can have? Well, they're basically in 3 categories. You have driving emotions. Each of us has 1 to 3 driving emotions. These are part of our DNA. They make up our DNA, and they're the things that help us drive towards what we really want to achieve. Then, of course, we have core emotions. These are the emotions that we experience every day. Love and joy and happiness and laughter, whatever it might be, they're the core emotions. And then, of course, of all of those other emotions, they're general emotions. We experience anger, we experience frustration. But what we're going to focus on in this episode are your driving emotions. And how do you work out those driving emotions? You need to start to think a little bit about what it is how you want to feel. All of us have 3 key driving emotions. Here's my belief, is that before you decide what you want to achieve, work out how you want to feel. Now, this is an unusual approach to goal setting. Because most people say, well, write out exactly what you want to achieve. I want to pay off my home loan by this date, this way, extra $1,000 a month, whatever it might be. But what I'm saying to you is, why don't we turn that around? In actual fact, the normal goal setting process looks a little bit like this. Set a goal, take action, get a result, gain a feeling. So what's the goal? I want to pay off my home loan in the next 5 years. What's the action? We're going to save an additional $1,000, a month, and put towards that home loan. And how we're going to do that is that we're going to cut back on this. We're going to stop doing that. We're going to, get a cheaper car. We're going to, catch more public transport. Whatever it might be that makes up that $1,000. That's the action. What's the result? You obviously pay off the house. What's the feeling? Well, people feel, I feel successful. I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm energized. But what I started to think about is this, is that why do smart, intelligent people set realistic, tangible goals and yet they don't achieve them? And the key is that they don't have an emotional connection to them. So I said, why don't we invert it? If that's the traditional way of setting goals, what if we did it back to front? Turned it upside down. So here's the question. How do you want to feel? Keith, I'm a bloke. I don't know how I want to feel. I'm not sure how I want to feel, Keith. See, if you understand exactly how you want to feel, for example, you want to feel successful, what action do you have to take every day to achieve success in your own mind? What result would come out of that? And would that get you closer to the goal? If we apply this process of feel, think, do, what I call is creating true goal alignment. If we could apply that to your life, to your goals, and create that connection, what would it look like for you? Well, if we look at it this way, we start with feel. What's that? An emotional connection to the goal. The second, and this is about how you want to feel. The second is a think. Feel, think, and that's the mental connection. What do I mean by the mental connection? The mental is around planning. It's about what you specifically think you want to achieve. And then, of course, you've got do, which is about what you need to specifically do to edge yourself closer to that goal. And that's the physical. The emotional, the mental, the physical. If you look at it like this, feel is about the emotional connection, think is about the mental connection, and of course do is about the physical connection. When you are emotionally connected...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.